What's up, everyone, to the Super Pirate Bros. This is Dennis, showing off my Eustass Captain Kid deck profile. This is old red and purple from starter deck 10. He came out with Law and Luffy, who both outshined him, and everybody forgot about him. But this guy got the support of his life in OP09, and it's finally the time to play him. He doesn't suck, and he's not as useless as you think. He actually has decent matchups in today's meta, and I'll tell you why. So let's go through his effects. So his disease, the bad part, your turn, if you have 4 or more life cards, give this leader minus 1,000 power. So he has to be at 3 life for him to be fully with his full power. But not that bad, because when attacking, you just don -1 to give him 2,000 power. And that's very easy to do. There's many ways in the deck to manipulate the don so that minusing doesn't even hurt you. In fact, it helps you for the most part. So yeah, I've been playing lots of tournaments with him. I finally managed to get a single second place at a tournament, just going 3-1, but you know, that's the best I can do so far, but I'm pretty sure I can go further than that next time. It does very good against matchups like Blackbeard. Luffy's fair, Shanks is fair, only Dofi's unfair, but Dofi's unfair to everybody, so who cares about that? Anyways, deck profile time. Killer. Look at 5 cards on the top of your deck to reveal a Kid Pirate type card other than Killer added to the hand. So your deck is mostly Kid Pirate, so you want to max out on this guy. Definitely good to play to find everything that you need. He's a pretty old card. He's from OP5, I believe. Then from starter deck 10, 2 of Heat. This is Heat that's just 3 cost, 4,000 power. Your turn, once per turn, you get 2,000 power till the end, to the start of your next turn. So even throughout your opponent's whole turn, he'll be plus 2,000 power. So he'll be at 6,000, so a little hard to kill. And they'll have to let up more Dawn just to get rid of him, or use additional effects to knock him out. So Heat is at 2. This guy is new. This is another Heat. He is not so great. I'm even thinking of replacing him for the other Heat. It's just a blocker. And then on play, your leader with 4,000 power less gains 1,000 power for the turn. Only good if you see him in the very first turn that you're gonna have 3 Dawn. Besides that, he's kind of just a blocker in my opinion, so that's why I prefer the other Heat. But one of that. This guy right here is what put the deck in the forefront to me. I'm only playing 3 of it because it has no counter, and you only need it in the beginning of the game. Captain Kid character, 3 cost, 5,000 power. On play, you add a life card to your hand, and then you get an active Dawn. So it ramps active, which is pretty crazy. And you taking your own life actually helps you because you're trying to reach your 5,000 stat line. As your leader becomes 3 life, you get to have 5,000 power. And you're not, you know, starting off weaker than everyone else. This thing is crazy against a deck like Nami. It lets you start picking up your own life for free since Nami is never going to attack you. I also noticed it's good against decks that try to starve you, like NL. If they try to starve you, you can just pick up your own life and, you know, let's see them keep trying, which is kind of hilarious. So for that reason, it's also good. And 5,000 power for right after. This card here, one of the most important in the deck. When I mulligan, I mostly try to look at for this card here more than anything else in the deck. OP08 Pudding says when a Dawn card is returned to your Dawn deck, you get to add 1 rested. So if you play this on your 3 Dawn turn, your leader gets to attack, do his minus effect, you get the Dawn right back because she gives it to you. So it's always good to try to maintain 1 or 2 of hers on the field because she helps you ramp and lets your leader continuously keep getting a 2,000 boost for free. That's why I love the Charlotte Pudding. Continuing to ramp for us is the on-play Bond Clay. This is the one that just gives you a free active, and then attacking, of course, you copy an opponent's attack, and then you swing for that much higher. Very good in the mid-game as well, when your opponent's playing big bodies, like in a Luffy deck, for example. Nothing but giant bodies come out. This is pretty good against that because you get to swing harder because they played big characters. And ramping is always good, so 4 of this. Definitely want to fit those into your deck. Next up, this is an old one from OP06. Hirokiri Kamazo, aka Killer. He is a Kid Pirate card, so he is searchable, which is good. And he's a 2K mostly, but he has another effect where if you go minus Dawn, you get to knock out a 2 cost or less character, which is actually very good into the Blackbeard matchup. It knocks out their Doc Qs and that horse stronger if they want to leave it up. And in other matchups, tiny blockers as well. So he's useful for that part as well because he's not a non-play effect. He just does it when your leader attacks minus, boom, you get to knock something out for free. So not bad if you have nothing else to play. Good stat line at 4-5. Up next, this one's new from OP09 and it's gonna be Wire. Another 2K. He gets rushed if he holds it Dawn and your leader has 7,000 power. Not really that great, but it's a 2K, so searchable 2K. Max out at 4. Up next, we've got the Kid Killer combo. This is the EBO11, and this thing gets rushed, and if your opponent got 2 life or less, he gains 2,000 power. Very strong. This deck is very aggro. You're gonna see from this thing and on, it's mostly an aggro deck because your leader hits for stronger every time. He's hitting for either 6 or 7 every single turn because you have cards that ramp you down like Charlotte Pudding. And this guy right here, 5-drop Captain Kid. So this is the blocker that gives you a free active Dawn when you go minus. So on your turn that you get to play him, you put him. Leader attacks, you go minus, you actually go +1 active with this guy. And if Pudding survived the turn before, you're ramping 2 for going minus on your leader's effect. So gaining 2,000 power to gain a free Dawn ramp. So pretty crazy when this and Pudding is out together. I love that stuff. And let's take a moment to appreciate the Captain Kid art from the PRB. I love it more than all the other ones. But yeah, mostly definite 4 of. Also, one of the things you want to mulligan into, it's your 5-drop Eustass Kid. This card here changed the whole deck for me. That is the reason why you're able to win games. This is the new killer from OP09 on play. Dawn -1 to set one of your Kid Pirates type leader as active. So let me go through a nice little combo for you, for those that don't know. So let's say leader swings, you do -1 Dawn, he goes to 7,000 power. He already attacked, he hit for 7,000. You play this guy, Dawn -1, your leader gets to restand, he gets to hold that 7,000 power. Why? Because it's for during the turn is what it says. So then when he gets to attack again, he swings for 9 actually. So you swing for much higher than you can imagine with this. Endgame goes really hard when you hold this. And Punk Rotten, which is a card I'll show you in a bit as well. So definitely need 4 of Killer, very strong card. Up next for the mid to late game plays is Eustass Captain Kid, the one that for -1 on play and when attacking, your leader holds 1,000 power for 2 turns. It's a way to help you survive because your leader, this deck doesn't hold too much counters. As you can see, there's only 4 2Ks in the whole deck, which is not that great. But this thing here boosts your leader. And besides that, the deck is very aggro, so your game shouldn't be lasting too long. As you can see, we're a rush down. Your leader hits for high all the time. And even Bon Clay is considered deadly to me. And this guy, when he swings, yeah, kind of protects your leader at the same time, making it stronger. Continuing with the rush down theme. Your high end is literally just going to be 3 Monkey D. Luffy's from OP09 as well. So it's a rusher, 9-10. You return 1 Dawn to just give him rush, plus drawing a free card. So that's always good. This is your very high end. I don't play no 10 drops because you're always going minus in this deck. The leader's going to do his effect. This Captain Kid's going to be doing his effect. So you're always going to be in a minus in a way. And even Killer will minus Dawn for you when you want to do that. So we usually don't hold 10 Dawn. That's kind of rare. Because once I'm at 7, 8 Dawn, I'm always going to swing with the leader's effect to swing for higher. It's just that time. Up next, I've got 2-0-2 event. 0 cost 3,000 power events to discard stuff. So in the late game, you might have drawn too many Luffys, too many Captain Kids, or the other Captain Kid that's no good at the end of the game. So Jet Gatling is good to get rid of them to give you that 3,000 boost to protect your board or your leader from dying. Made room for just 1 of this searching card. This lets you look for a Straw Hat Crew, Kid Pirate, or Heart Pirate card. It only looks at 3. But what I like about it is that it does help you find a Luffy when you want it. Sometimes Luffy is your next best play that you can do. So you can find you the Luffy or any other Kid Pirate card you may want, including the Killers, which Little Killer can't search. So this is to help you find this Killer, the 5-drop, and your Monkey D. Luffy, and whatever else you may need. So 1 of this is fine. Last card, probably the most important card as well, is going to be Punk Rotten. You can consider putting this at 4 as well. It's crazy busted. So for those that don't know, it's an old card from OP05 that Dawn -1. You give your leader or a character up to 5,000 power that has Kid Pirates. Everybody's mostly Kid Pirates. I mostly give it to the leader. And let me show you the lethal combo that always comes up at the end of games that people don't see coming. It's gonna be basically Punk Rotten on your leader. Your leader swings, then you play Killer. Killer restands your leader. Your leader's already hitting for 12 the first swing, 14 the next turn. And that's with just 7 Dawn. 7 Dawn leads to a 12 attack and a 14 attack. That's how you win games in this deck, by holding on to one of this and one of this at the end game, and you get to go really crazy. Either that or you just go ahead and break board. But this will minus you basically 3 Dawn or 4 Dawn in a whole turn. That's what I mean by the deck does not hold 10 Dawn very well. But with that, it always goes for lethal. I've won plenty of games doing that. It's not the only thing I rely on. Like I said, Kid and Killer is pretty good at rushing as well at the end game. You can even put this on Kid Killer. So with 6 Dawn, you get to really go for game if your opponent has no life. And since you've been hitting for a big amount every turn, your opponent don't usually have a lot of life when versing this deck. And this deck has many great matchups. It has matchups against a good matchup against Blackbeard. I found Blackbeard very, very easy to beat because nobody here is on play. The only thing on play is Luffy's draw effect and the rush. But who cares? Captain Kid has it on play, but he also has the when attacking, so it doesn't matter. Besides that, you have Pudding and the 5-drop Kid that you can rely on that keep ramping you Dawn when your leader goes minus. Their effects keep working. And then the rushing Dawn, that definitely works too. Punk Rotten easily gets past a big Blackbeard. It's not an issue. Bentham can destroy a Blackbeard because you play this before their 10-drop turn, and then they're only going to have 10 Dawn to play the big guy. Either that or they kill the Mr. 2. You can't have it both ways. So that's why this thing swings for 12 when they put that big guy down. So you don't care that you lost your own play effect. Honestly, the Blackbeard matchup I find very free. I find it easy in the sim and also very easy in real life. I've just been destroying them. Purple Luffy's fair. Purple red Luffy is a little harder, but still doable. Shanks goes a little even-ish. But no, I definitely recommend you guys try this deck out. I've really been loving it. It's my favorite deck of OP09 so far. And let me know what you guys think. It's pretty solid. I've only gotten results of 3 wins, 1 loss so far. So I got a 2nd place the other day with this thing. But let me know if you guys can do better or if you will be doing better. I'll keep trying it. And thanks for watching, y'all. Peace.